Piper, I hope you and your ICE agents realize I have no problem calling multiple times a day if you get stupider and stupider. This cocksucker escalates, goes and fucks with my shit at my camp. I'm calling police again. He done ransacked the motherfucker once. I told him then, I'm gonna call police. Oh no, you don't have to do that. And then he acts surprised when I call him. Cops a fucking attitude and plays victim. What's more, for all you idiots that have been turned out, you think the uncorrupted cops and the state police in Cousy don't have their own fucking snitches embedded in the homeless community? The difference is Piper and Weinberger and Paul Dragon and Howard Center and Safe Harbor and these pieces of shit you corrupt Epstein allied fucks work for recruit domestic abusers and pedophiles. Female or male. Guess who Cousy recruits? Your victims, who are all too happy, many of them already homeless, all too happy to help them. And it isn't going to be one, it isn't going to be two, it's going to be a fucking army, just like you. They'll have some broad camp out with you next to my fucking tent, smoke crack with you and get you to run your mouth about how where you got your drugs and you ain't worried about no police because you work for them and yada 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 yada. That's why when I call police, they don't ask what your gender is, they don't ask for a description, they don't ask for a name, they don't ask me anything. They already fucking know. And any fucking dispatcher that has a problem with it, I'll tell her to take it up with the state police who told me to do it, and that I'm a sworn and immunized investigator assisting them in the Epstein case, and the assholes who stole my identity went online, pretended to be me, and got Vermont Medicaid in my name and forged my signature on the application, and then proceeded to defraud over $1 million from Vermont and New York Medicaid. Tell her if she's got a problem with me calling police on you, she can take it up with the state police in Cousy. That's why I've been telling you. You better go turn yourselves into EPD because they're already all over you. What, because they don't roll up? You think you haven't spoken to a police agent? They know you ain't gonna tell them shit if they roll up in a squad car with a fucking badge and a gun. You're gonna talk while you're getting high with one of their snitches sucking your dick. Because they'll give her drugs too. Remember, these are the people who want to legalize drugs. They're the ones that told police not to arrest for public drug use. Which I don't understand why public drinking, why they're harassing homeless people for drinking in the public but not smoking crack and heroin and shooting up and whatever else. That the mayor's going to have to sort out. Might want to think about that, Mayor. Because that's kind of like, if you're going to, alcohol is a drug. And it doesn't spread HIV like needles do. So you might want to rethink letting your officers harassing homeless people because they drink from an open container in the public, but don't say shit to them when they're injecting themselves with heroin or whatever, or smoking crack, whatever. Smoking pot, smoking crack, smoking heroin. Now, if they're not supposed to be harassing homeless people because they're drinking from an open container on Church Street, where everybody's fucking drinking because there's bars up and down the whole fucking place. And that's kind of the whole point of drawing people there. I doubt they're harassing the students the way they're harassing the homeless people. Just saying. And I saw it several times with my own eyes. In fact, one of the homeless guys being harassed said, "Are you," he said, "You happy now, pork chop?" Pig. That was his way of calling him pig. We were fucking howling. So it looks like he's got a friend out there. The lady with the dog apparently is one of his new coworkers, which I already knew she was full of shit anyway. They're both turning around looking at me, peeping at me. That's a dead giveaway. The blonde who came in here and crossed herself before she ate. Which of course they're going to start recruiting new people because they don't want me calling police, which is another reason why I'm going to call them as often as I can possibly justify it. If they don't want me calling police bad enough that they'll have Burl threaten and say, "Oh, if you call police, they'll shut down your camp." And then I say, "Oh, I'm going to file a restraining order against terminating progressive government on behalf of horror." And then they come down and close down my camp and file their own bogus restraining order and issue a invalid no trespass. That tells me you really don't want me calling police. Plus this motherfucker sitting there getting all red-faced. I call, "Yeah, I need to report a stalker." I said, "There's 3 of them here." He was sitting there by himself. Why'd he get all red and nervous? That means he knew the other 2 that rent from Handy's down there, the 2 man children who play with magic cards. Y'all done told on yourselves. Now you're trying to play it cool. And there's the only thing that gets you worse than doing the original crime, that most prosecutors will shrug off and go, "Okay, but was there criminal intent?" Now you're coming in here trying to play it cool when I call police or criminal intent to go with the original crime for a prima facie case, because a prosecutor can't file charges without evidence of criminal intent. And you're providing evidence of consciousness of guilt. That ain't just for you fucking idiotic, punk-ass bitches stalking me on behalf of Piper and Weinberger and Dr. Lincoln and Paul and whoever the fuck recruited you. That goes for Piper. That goes for them, too. The fact that they're sending you in here to try to play it cool implicates them, too. But you keep right on thinking that because the police didn't roll up any squad car with badges and guns interrogating you doesn't mean you haven't been interrogated. The blonde out there smoking with you may be an undercover. The one who you smoked pot with next to my camp all night was probably an undercover. Just not for, and they may even be pretending to work for Piper and Weinberger and whatever. You think when I walk down Church Street that you cocksuckers are the only ones on my ass? No. For all of you that are on my ass, there's 6 or 7 of them on your ass. It's called a protective detail. That way, if you make a move, they can intervene. So if you think you're going to sneak into those woods back there and do something stupid, they're going to intervene before you do it. Plus, you're on video from the railroad. Back at Dollar Tree, Spark, Wendy's, and McDonald's. And I guarantee there's going to be cameras in those woods. They're going to have them set up so they can see anybody going to my tent, but not necessarily invade my privacy where they can see in it. Like if I'm changing clothes or whatever, set up. But if they did set up such a camera where they can see into my tent, watch me change clothes, then it was caught on some other surveillance, whether it was them texting about it. And if you think your phones aren't, all the texts and phone calls you make aren't under surveillance, oh, well, Piper's running the case. No, they're letting Piper think she's running the case. They went along with it. They knew Piper was going to come in and set her badge on their desk and give them bad orders. They knew she was going to lie to them and then send cocksuckers like you to support whatever lies she says. This ain't going to go the way you think it is. Just like I went along with all of Caton's and Burl's bullshit and Michael's bullshit and I don't know who. There was a few more I'll go along with because I can stomach them, but at this point, since they used biological weapons and murdered Michaela Raines and murdered 7 of your co-workers, your co-ICE agents, to shut them up, trust and believe you're next. And nobody's going to feel sorry for you because you chose to go to work for Nazis. You know you're helping Nazis commit murder and genocide and child sex trafficking. You already know your life's in danger. And you would rather rape and pillage and get high and live in your rapist Nazi fantasy and risk death. It's on you. Nobody feels sorry for Nazis. Ever. Especially Nazis that double tap a little girl's school and kill 168 little girls under the age of 12. And shoot up fishing boats in Venezuela. And then kidnap whoever survives and tortures and rapes them. Grown men getting tortured and raped. That's what you're a part of. Nobody's going to feel sorry when your obituary shows up, which they didn't even put an obituary in for Ben, or I don't know Ben's last name. Al Hennessy didn't get an obituary.